Time is 6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Rumesh Pires. First, the headlines. The President invites local entrepreneurs to join to build the country. Plans made to meet the cement requirement in the country locally. It has been disclosed that sufficient oil stocks are maintained for industries and development activities. 45 garbage containers brought to the country in 2019 sent back. The International Languages Day ceremony held under the patronage of the Prime Minister. It has been revealed that the Electricity Board spends more than 4,000 million rupees on streetlights. In news overseas, Moscow says there are no firm plans for the summit with the US. In sports news, Sri Lanka Cricket announces an 18-member squad for the tour of India. And now the local news in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has requested local entrepreneurs to join to build the country by uplifting local industries. The President mentioned this during a meeting with large-scale entrepreneurs at the Presidential Secretariat today. The President pointed out that large-scale investors will get the opportunity to invest in renewable energy, green agriculture, technological parks and greenhouses to earn foreign exchange. Taking part on the occasion, Minister Basil Rajapaksa said that steps will be taken to produce cement in the country to meet the local requirement. He requested the entrepreneurs not to misuse the decision taken by the government to remove price controls. Meanwhile, Central Bank Governor Ajit Nimbat Cabral said that the government is taking measures to maintain fuel stocks without hindering industries and development activities. He said that the government has the ability to pay all foreign debts. He said that steps will be taken to attract investments which are not debt into the country. The entrepreneurs requested the President to prepare the necessary background to stop students going overseas for education. 45 garbage containers sent to the country from the UK in 2019 were sent back today. The illegal activity had violated all international conventions. The containers were re-exported following a decision given by the Appeals Court according to a case filed by the Environmental Justice Centre. Sri Lanka Customs said that legal action will be taken against the persons involved according to the Customs Ordinance. The International Language Day ceremony was held today under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at the Independence Square in Colombo. While attending the function, Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that knowledge of languages of various communities will help coexistence. Winners of the competition held under the theme Mother, Mother Tongue, Motherland were awarded with certificates on the occasion. Deputy Director General of Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority, Harsha Wickramasinghe, says that Electricity Board has to spend more than 4,000 million rupees monthly due to streetlights switched on during unnecessary times. He said more than 400,000 streetlights are lighted daily island-wide. He pointed out such situations should be addressed when solving the electricity crisis. He mentioned this during a media briefing today. The Parliament Consultative Committee of the Ministry of Energy, Ministerial Consultative Committee on Agriculture and the Ministerial Consultative Committee on Wildlife and Forest Conservation will meet tomorrow. The Ministerial Consultative Committee on Labour and the Ministerial Consultative Committee on Lands are scheduled to meet on Wednesday. The Select Committee of Parliament to identify appropriate reforms of the election laws and the electoral system and to recommend necessary amendments is scheduled to meet on Thursday. The Women Parliamentarians Caucus is also scheduled to meet tomorrow. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with more local news. Saman Darshana Pandita Korala assumed duties this morning as the new Secretary to the State Ministry of Smallholder Development and Industrial Export Promotion. Saman Darshana Pandita Korala, who was the Trincomalee District Secretary, was appointed as the new Secretary to the State Ministry by the President on Friday. Consultant Dr. Samita Ginige says there is no truth in opinions that there are side effects due to COVID vaccines. He said that public should pay attention to get the third dose. He pointed out it will help to minimize complications and prevent deaths. Energy expert Dr. Tilak Sembalapitiya says that the results of not constructing large-scale electricity plants after 2015 are being experienced now. He said there is a necessity to implement projects to achieve the target of 70% of meeting energy through renewable energy sources by 2030. He said there is a need for a long-term program to solve the electricity crisis. Secretary to the Ministry of Highways, Ranjit Premasiri, says that the statement of the convener of anti-corruption movement, Vasantha Samarasinha, stating that more than 160 million rupees have been defrauded when building 20 kilometers of Gadagidara to Rambukkana on the Central Expressway is totally false. He said that the procurement process for the development activity is still under process. He added such statements cannot be accepted when the process is still underway. A new program has been implemented to protect the environment near Devanna Lake. Accordingly, a project has been implemented to control algae growth in the lake. High levels of phosphorus and nitrogen in the water of the lake has led to a growth in algae. The Presidential Task Force implementing the program. And that concludes local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Health Ministry says another 10,001 coronavirus patients have recovered and discharged from hospitals and intermediate treatment centres. This brings the total number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country to 607,119. Meanwhile, 13,724 patients infected with the virus are currently undergoing medical treatment island-wide. And that came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
In Watchlight, health authorities have categorically rejected reports which states that wearing of masks would be removed. COVID-19 coordinator Dr. Anwar Hamdani said neither the government nor the Health Ministry had such discussions. Dr. Hamdani reiterated that no such decision had been taken to lift wearing face masks. And that came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news is next.
Coming up, world news.
Moving on to the World News Bulletin, first the headlines. Moscow says there are no firm plans for the summit with the US. A study finds vegetables alone not enough to reduce heart risk. Music entrepreneur and YouTube star Jamal Edwards dies aged 31. Now the world news in detail. Moscow has said there are no firm plans in place for a summit between Russian President Vladimir Putin and his US counterpart Joe Biden. The Kremlin statement today dashed hopes that top-level diplomacy aimed at easing the Ukraine crisis would be imminent a day after the two leaders appeared to agree in principle to talks. French President Emmanuel Macron had negotiated the potential meeting on Europe's security and strategic stability. A large UK study suggests vegetables may be good for you, but eating a lot of them is unlikely to reduce your risk of a heart attack or stroke. The researchers say what else we eat, how much exercise we do, and where and how we live may have more of an impact. But they emphasize that a balanced diet helps reduce the risk of many diseases, including some cancers. Eating at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables every day is recommended by health advisors. British entrepreneur and YouTube star Jamal Edwards has died at the age of 31. He was the founder of SBTV, an online urban music platform which helped launch the careers of artists like Dave, Ed Sheeran and Skepta. Edwards is the son of singer and Loose Women presenter Brenda Edwards, who said she was completely devastated. Born in Luton, Edwards was appointed an MBE for services to music in 2014. Back to the headlines of the world news. Moscow says there are no firm plans for the summit with the US. A study finds vegetables alone not enough to reduce heart risk. And music entrepreneur and YouTube star Jamal Edwards dies aged 31. And that concludes the Bulletin of World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Russian ambassador in Colombo, Yuri Bimatyev, said that Russia is interested in further deepening the bilateral ties with Sri Lanka in fields of trade, high-tech industry and peaceful use of atomic energy. Ambassador Matveyev said that Sri Lanka Atomic Energy Authority and the Russian State Atomic Energy Corporation discussed the possibility of constructing a medical cyclotron facility in Sri Lanka, which could be used to treat many types of cancers. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Moving on to sports news, first it's cricket. Sri Lanka Cricket today announced the 18-member squad for the Sri Lanka Tour of India 2022. Sri Lanka national team will play 3 T20 matches during the tour. Dasung Shanaka is the captain, while Charit Asalanka will be his deputy. In other sports news, basketball, Stephen Curry scored 50 points and set an all-star game record as Team LeBron claimed a 163-160 win over Team Durant. Curry finished with 16 three-pointers, setting a record for the most in an all-star quarter, half and game in the process. Finally, in football news, the Football Association is investigating after Manchester United's Anthony Elanga was struck by an object thrown from the crowd in Sunday's Premier League victory at Leeds United. Elanga, aged 19, was hit by a missile as the visitors celebrated Fred's 70th minute goal in the 4-2 win at Ellen Road. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Brilliant Cuts Private Limited was recently recognized by the Ceylon National Chamber of Industries as the company won the Gold Award 2021 under the National Level Service Sector at CNCI Achievers Awards 2021. The achievement of Brilliant Cuts has reaffirmed the company's significant contribution to the Sri Lankan gem and jewellery industry. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
The Colombo Stock Exchange has enabled local entities incorporated or established in Sri Lanka to issue the list foreign currency-dominated shares in the Tirisave and main boards of the BOS. This new financing option for local companies is a result of the new strategic plan with the CSE launched in 2020. An updated regulatory framework can be accessed through the CSE website www.cse.lk. And that ends economic news. The weather report coming up.
The weather report.
And finally, on to the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in Galle, Matara, Ratnapura and Kalutara districts during the evening or night. A few showers may occur in the coastal areas of Eastern Province during the night. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa, Central, Uva and North Central provinces during the morning. And that was the weather report. And to end this news broadcast, a recap of the main news headlines. The President invites local entrepreneurs to join to build the country. Plans made to meet the cement requirement in the country locally. It has been disclosed that sufficient oil stocks are maintained for industries and development activities. 45 garbage containers brought to the country in 2019 sent back. The International Languages Day ceremony held under the patronage of the Prime Minister. It has been revealed that the electricity board spends more than 4,000 million rupees on streetlights. In news overseas, Moscow says there are no firm plans for the summit with the US. In sports news, Sri Lanka Cricket announces an 18-member squad for the tour of India. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.